was wondering when you'd turn up.
Hey, my lovely. Zizka told me you found something out about Liechtenstein.
If only just Liechtenstein. I've only been here a couple of days, but I seem to know everything about this city and its sinful people. And about the Pope, the second Pope, Sigismund, Wenceslas, about the sickness of old men, the desires of young men, who I sometimes have to beat off with a stick. Simply everything. The tavern seems to be the fount of all knowledge.
You'll have to tell me more about the sinning part. That sounds interesting.
You youngsters are all the same, but work before pleasure. After we find Liechtenstein and free Cape Bon, we'll see.
I'll look forward to it. But anyway, about Liechtenstein. Anything new?
Well, there might be something. One of the girls I talked to told me her sweetheart frequents some nasty alehouse. And one of the regulars there recently started buying drinks for the whole house. Which is suspicious, because this fella is practically a beggar. Goatskin, they call him. They asked him where he got the coin, and he boasted that he was spying for some rich lord.
All right. That sounds promising.
Of course, it doesn't have to be Liechtenstein, but there can't be that many rich men who pay spies. And we have to start somewhere.
That's true. And you've spoken to this goatskin fella?
Not yet. I was rather hoping you'd do it. That grubby alehouse is a bit too wild even for me.
Oh, that's saying something. Well, trying to get sense out of drunken wretches is quite a skill of mine. Does this place have a name?
I'm not sure if it's a name, but the locals call it the Hole in the Wall.
Once old folks start getting soft in the head.
I see the owner's got a sense of humour.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's a joke. You'll find it in Hot Prink. There's no other alehouse in that quarter.
So goatskin in the hole in the wall. I reckon I remember that. I'll go and check it out.
Before you go, I wanted to ask. Nobody ever told me why we're actually looking for this Liechtenstein fella.
So I don't drown in all this shit here. Last time it rained for a week straight.
He might know where they're holding Capon.
I'm sure lots of people might know that.
But Liechtenstein's on our side. At least I hope he still is. You never know these days.
But who is he? And why is he in Kuttenberg?
He's a young noble from Jobst's council. His family have domains in Moravia and Lower Austria. He's here to gather information about the enemy for Jobst. And judging by how important it was for Istvan to find out where he is, he's a real thorn in their side. And they're out to get him.
So we're getting involved in noblemen's schemes again. That means trouble.
I'll do my best not to get us mixed up in all that.
Sure you will. But it can't be helped. There's a war on, and we have to fight. Watch out for yourself, Henry. I have a bad feeling about that district.
You're not the only one.
Are they out of their bloody minds? They had 2 collections just like it already. Innkeeper! Up here!
Nice and slow. Whoa, whoa. I'm looking for a fella called Goatskin.
I don't know you. If you're after something, go and see Chenyik. And stay out of the way.
Could you tell me more about this Chenyik?
No, I couldn't. We don't talk to strangers here.
And where can I find this Chenyik?
Christ! You're a bit slow, ain't you? Somewhere here in the hole, I reckon. He usually sits next to Hugo. He's kind of our top dog.
Right. I'm gonna see if I can find that Chenyek. I'm looking for a fella called Goatskin. Do you know him?
Aye. But I reckon I ain't gonna tell you nothing.
Why not?
Because I don't know you. Although the way you're kitted out, you seem like you might fit in here.
I'll fit right in here. After all, I'm in the trade.
Funny, I ain't seen your mug before, though.
No, I ain't from this neck of the woods. I do business mostly out of Colleen, only the catchpoles there are on my heels. I done in this fucker what owed me a pile of glint, only the bugger turns out to be the son of a councillor, so I needs to lay low for a bit, see? A mate of mine sent me to see Goatskin. Says he owes him from way back and he'd get me fixed up like.
One of ours from Colleen. Well, that's another story. Our doors is always open to you fellas. What was it you wanted to know?
I'm looking for Goatskin. I hear he used to come here.
Aye. Thing is, ain't nobody seen him here for a few days.
But he used to come here.
Aye. He was here day in, day out. Only this time some burly lads came here and duffed him up proper.
Now just this.
Do you know the men who beat him up?
No. But there were some Jews among them, and that's pretty odd. Seeing as how they don't usually get mixed up in nothing.
Why did they give him such a beating? Did they say anything?
Well, Goatskin is a right knob end. Always asking for it, he is. But I reckon this time it was about his big gob. The last week he was coming, throwing glint around. And when we squeezed him about where he got the coin, he said he was spying for some lord.
And does this lord have a name?
He didn't say. We didn't swallow his yarn about spying anyway. We reckoned he made a score and just wanted to look like a big man.
What happened to Goatskin? Does anyone know where he is now?
No word. But I reckon he's holed up somewhere, licking his wounds. Seems he stuck his nose in a wasp's nest, and he won't be sticking it out again for a while. If you're going to look for him, try it at night. You don't stray far when he's on the job. Usually between Hradek and the horse market. He goes after drunks. So I try asking in the local drinking dens.
All right. What does he look like, though? He can't be the only fella who likes to relieve drunks of their purses.
God's truth. But you'll know Goatskin when you see him. They call him that on account of how he got kicked in the head by a goat as a nipper. He's got a dent in his forehead you could use for a game of marbles.
Why didn't you defend Goatskin? Isn't he one of you?
He is and he ain't. I'm no saint, but that Goatskin stepped in some nasty shit and then walked it in our door and all. I ain't saying we don't look out for each other, but there's limits, innit?
I'm sure you know the town better than me. What drinking dens are there on Goatskin's patch?
Between the horse market and Hradek, there's the Black Horse, a miner's tavern. Wayman the taverner used to be a miner, and then there's the Big Bathhouse. It belongs to some bloke called Adam. He tarted the place up big.
Any others?
None I know.
Thanks. I'll go and look for him.
I wish you luck then. He ain't the brightest, but he's got a real talent for saving his own skin. Once you're done with him, come by and see us. Seems after all you're a pretty handy bloke. We could use the likes of you.
If you've got some job for me, you can tell me straight up. So what kind of work do you have for me?
A job worthy of your skills. But first, just a little test to see that you're not as dim-witted as that arsehole Goatskin. What is Wycliffe's first thesis?
Poverty and modesty are the sole and true virtues in a Christian's life. Even the church is supposed to be poor.
Nicely put, but wrong. Second question. Which estate has the greatest reformatory potential?
The church.
I asked who should start the reform. A reformation is the last thing the church... The answer is the...
I knew right away that the people who meet here in the hole are a different bunch.
You thought we were just paupers who couldn't count to 5, didn't you? But now let's see who's the pauper. Last question. Who is the rightful king of Bohemia?
Wenceslas. There's no doubt about it.
Indeed. All right. Now let's talk about the job. Maybe this will disappoint you a little, but it concerns Wenceslas's brother. It's he who will secure your place in our humble company.
Well, from what you've said, I gather you're not spying for Sigismund. It's rather the other way round, huh?
We call ourselves the Guild. We profess the ideals of equality and brotherhood. Our only law is the Holy Bible. Worldly justice is as fickle as a common whore, yielding to those who are in power.
Justice for me or the gallows. Aren't you afraid to end up there?
Friend, one must be willing to suffer for the truth. Sigismund is a usurper. And the church and the magistrates are but a lowly whore spreading her legs for Sigismund. As long as we go against Sigismund and honour the scripture, our souls remain pure.
What if I go and tell the bailiff you're calling him a whore? Just out of courtesy, you know?
Go ahead. Perhaps you are one of the lucky ones who are not harmed by Sigismund's presence in Bohemia. Maybe you don't mind selling a piece of your conscience by ratting us out. As for me, I will go to the town hall with my head held high. But you?
Yeah, don't worry. I was just teasing you. I think the same of Sigismund. Tell me about your operation here.
We are who we are, and we do what we do. Like the early church of Jesus' apostles, in unity and fidelity to his words. I'm in charge. I plan all our missions. Goliath is the muscle. Knuckles, well, he mostly complains. But he also knows his way around locks. But we're all equal. We share the profits equally, but we don't do it for the wealth. We want to drive Sigismund out of this town.
How can I join you?
You want to join us already? I don't have to talk you into it. That's great. We're not particular about formalities. Let's just have a beer, and then you're one of us.
Here's to the guild.
To the Guild! That reminds me. I'd like to throw a feast for the poor. The bigger the better.
Didn't you say you were just ordinary people with no money?
We are. And this is where Sigismund comes in. Because he's going to pay for the feast out of his own pocket.
That was a good one. How are you going to make that happen?
Me? No. You'll make it all happen. Listen carefully. Sigismund seized land down in the valley near Pach and built his personal warehouse on it, right under our noses as a provocation. There he stores fancy foods and gifts for his commanders, and for that red-bearded gob of his. Sausages, smoked meats, foreign spices, and more. Fancy delicacies from Italy, Hungary, Slavonia, and all the other shitholes where he owns land. While we're eating porridge and cabbage all the time. You will steal all the food you can carry from that warehouse. And as a nice token, you will leave there... Let's see... What would you leave there?
That cabbage you said you were eating all the time?
Brilliant! Get at least one head from the greengrocer and leave it there for Sigismund. Let him eat for once what we have in our bowls almost every day. But I'm warning you right now, no violence. Don't even think about slitting anyone's throat in that warehouse. The job isn't to punish some poor sod on guard duty. Is that clear?
Got it. What should I do with the stolen food?
You'll give it to the beggars. Let them feast like kings for once. It's not hard to find poor people in the town. Just go to the gates or churches, and you'll surely come across some. There are also tents full of them in Minor Street, Church Street or Cobbler Street. When you're done, come and see me, and we'll figure out what to do next.
Sigismund will be fucking livid he can't enjoy his fine sausages. Can I expect any help from you?
If you need some tools, stop by Knuckles. That's all I can help you with.
All right. I'll head out.
Good luck. Going to bake bread today?
I don't think so.
What are you here?
Where did the skeleton come from?
Ah, another newcomer who hasn't heard of Hugo. I'm happy to tell you because it's a hilarious tale. Have you got the time?
I sure do. Tell me.
Well, then listen carefully. 10 years ago, back when the tavern belonged to another fella, miners used to gather here and play dice for money. Miners are not very rich and they often lost what little they had to live on. But their wives were understandably pissed off, so they came up with a plan. They clubbed together to buy a skeleton of a hanged man from the executioner, and they hid it in the cupboard where the miners kept their dice, thinking they would take it as a sign from God. But when the drunken men opened the cupboard and saw the skeleton, they were amused. They sat it down next to them, gave her a drink, and even threw the dice when it was the skeleton's turn.
The wife's plan didn't work out so well.
The miners don't come here anymore, but Hugo, as he came to be called, stayed. The miners don't come here anymore, but Hugo, as he came to be called, stayed. I'm telling you, he'll be still sitting here long after our bones are in the ground. Good story, right?
Great. I'd have a drink with Hugo in a heartbeat. What's new?
Nothing much.
I'll have a look. I'd like to do...
Fun.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry.
All the others tossed it just from the smell of it.
Greetings.
I'll have a look.
Maybe next time then. God bless. The best.
I'd like to discuss...
Well, you see, I was glad to be of help.
Beautiful colours.
Easy, good horse. Da! 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 Go!
God be with. Hey, you're not allowed here.
Correct, Nightcrawler.
Who's there?
Leave it! Shoot!
Lucky me. I could use this. Mine. Fresh goods!
Pissing down rain again.
Greetings.
I brought you some food.
Sweet Jesus! I can't believe it! I must be dreaming. I'll feed my whole family. Who do I thank for this?
All this is from the Kuttenberg Guild and the good King Wenceslas.
Is this how the guild takes care of us? Wonderful! May God bless our King Wenceslas. See you later, my friend.
Greetings. What brings you here?
I brought you some...
Sweet Jesus! I can't believe it! I'll feed my whole family. Who do I thank?
For every...
Is this how the guild takes? May God bless. God be with you, sir.
God bless. I brought you some...
I fill my belly and even have some left. Who do I thank for this?
All this is...
Is this how the guild takes care of me? God bless. God be with you, sir.
The Lord be with you.
I brought you some...
Dear God, I must be I'll feed my whole family. Who should I thank for these?
For everything. That...
Is this how the guild? May God... It was good to see you, my friend. Oh, excuse me.
Good day. I brought you some...
Dear God, I'll fill my belly and who should I thank?
All this is...
Is this how... May God... See you soon, my friend.
Easy. Good horse. Whoa, whoa. I did what you asked me to do.
Great! So you robbed the chest and fed the poor?
I robbed the chest and left the cabbage in it.
Ha ha! Great work! He's in for a big surprise, the red-headed fucker. Good work! What about the beggars?
I fed as many people as I could.
You're a hero. Folk will really appreciate that, you know. They've never eaten like this before. Now, that wasn't so hard, was it? And that feeling of satisfaction. We may not be any richer, and yet...
You know what? I'm beginning to understand the guild's modesty.
See? And now, let's talk about your next job. Just before I tell you more about it, try talking to Rat. I'm sure there are a few side jobs for a chap like you. And Goliath could teach you how to throw a proper punch. He's the best brawler far and wide.
You said you have some more work for me. What is it?
Well, you might have noticed there's some houses in Kuttenberg with peculiar symbols on them.
What symbols?
Kind of little markings you'd easily miss if you don't know about them. But you'll spot them if you keep your eyes peeled.
What are they for?
Before we was here, before the guild, even before Sigismund turned up, this whole place was under the thumb of another gang. They didn't have a name, and they wasn't aiming at a greater cause like us. They was mostly thieves, but it was hard to get the drop on them, on account of how cunning they was.
And they use these symbols?
They thought them up.
And what were they for, these symbols?
It was a way of marking houses. One of the crew drew a symbol to send a message to the others.
Smart idea. But what's it got to do with me?
Being able to use them symbols would come in plenty handy for us. Think of all the benefits. We tracked down one of the old gang recently. His name's Hinek, but he used to call himself Greaser. He was a bit of a know-it-all and made fun of everything. I sent Hogg to find out the meaning of the symbols from him, but I'd rather someone else kept an eye on him.
Where can I find this Hinek Greaser fella?
I'm glad you're up for it. His house is on the edge of the check quarter, near the gate. Farewell, good sir.
Tell me about yourself. Where are you from, and what brought you here?
Don't you have anything better to do than listen to that kind of rubbish? All right. I'm from Kuttenberg, son of a tailor. I studied at the university in Prague and met a lot of interesting people there. And let me tell you this. The wisest people in this kingdom know a big change is coming.
You mean that reformation you like to talk about?
A great wind will come and sweep away that which has no firm roots. Then the rain comes and moistens the soil so that new grain can grow on it.
Could you stop with the metaphors?
You're not stupid. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. There's not much more I could tell you about myself. Except maybe, when this is all over and we've established this brave new world, I will return to my studies.
I'm interested in the guild.
Plato or Aristotle?
The guild?
Right. Are you interested in our ideals or the group in general? Generally speaking, we are just ordinary peasants. Paupers, beggars, common rabble. At least that's what they like to call us. The lowest of the townsfolk. But if we're the dregs of the city, we still hold our bare arses high and have a passion for a good cause in our hearts.
I don't have any...
All right.
Greetings.
Going to bake bread today?
Is that today's special, or is it part of the decor?
A
beer and a rag, please.
Great. Just what we needed.
Hey, Henry.
Tell me more about yourself.
What can I tell you? I was born on a dunghill and I'll die on a dunghill. With the guild, even the likes of me have a chance to sleep in a normal bed sometimes and have some decent food.
Don't you have any dreams or purpose?
Listen, pal, you can't eat dreams for breakfast. And my only purpose is to live to see another day. Believe me, I'll do anything for that.
What can you tell me about the guild?
I'm not going to lie to your face like the others. Let me spare you the bullshit. We're just a bunch of really desperate people who have no choice but to steal. We're scrambling as hard as we can, and all this talk about fighting Sigismund is just a fairy tale for the dim-witted.
So why does the guild really do what it does?
To survive! I bet. When Sigismund finally fucks off one beautiful day, the guild will keep on doing what we've always done, only with a different enemy.
So you're not in it for the noble cause, I gather?
That's right. At least I'm willing to admit it. But the others seem to really believe the stories about society where all folk are equal.
Chenyak wants me to do something.
What does he want this time? That idiot would be better off finding himself a woman instead of thinking up damn fool shit. Let me guess. It's something real important that'll help us in our noble cause.
I'm supposed to keep an eye on Hogg, who went to find out the meaning of the old thieves' symbols around Kuttenberg.
And what do you think about it? Are you going to help him?
What do you think about it?
I think it's a great opportunity for both of us.
You think so?
Look here, friend. If you find out something about them symbols and tell me, and I mean only me, I promise you, we'll make a fortune out of it. They ain't just any old symbols. They're thieves' symbols, see? Help me out, and you won't regret it.
I'll have to think about it.
Don't wear your brain out. There ain't nothing to think over. When you find out more about them symbols, you know where to find me. See you soon, my friend.
I apologize.
I'm Henry, a new member of the guild.
I'm Rat. That's what they call me. My nimble fingers can deal with any lock. Me and Hogg, we're the main workforce in the guild. Hogg is my best friend.
Tell me about yourself. Where did you come from? What are you doing here?
I'm doing what I've always done. I'm stealing. But now, I'm doing it for a higher purpose. Because I only steal from the enemies of the Kingdom of Bohemia.
Have you ever thought about finding more honest work?
And let others rob me blind on my earnings? Thanks, friend. I think I'll stick with stealing.
What do you think of the guild?
If you want to talk, go to Chenyak. He's the chatty one. All I can tell you is that ever since the guild began, even thievery makes more sense. Suddenly, I don't feel so guilty. And a part of every haul goes to the poor, so everyone is happy.
Isn't that just an excuse?
Not at all, friend. You can see the results with your own eyes. Most of the city is on our side.
Chenyak said you might have some work on the side for me.
Sure. You did a pretty good job last time. I'll give you that. So, I think you can be trusted.
So, do you have something?
You know the rules. If I tell you about it, you can't back out.
I know how it is. I'll do it.
Good. But there's a catch. It's not dangerous, it's just not for the faint of heart. You see, a certain mine owner recently kicked the bucket, and we need to bring him back to life. That Hanneman rot may have been a cunt, but he sure was rich, and above all, childless. So, by law, the church, the city, and that Hungarian whoreson son Sigismund will all get a share of his property.
And what do you want me to do?
Fortunately, Rot was vain enough to be in a tomb with his rings, and more importantly, his seal. Now do you get it?
Ah, I understand. The guild could use the seal to conclude a few interesting binding contracts, eh?
Most astute. Exactly so. Bring me the seal, and whatever else you find on the way is yours. Corpses can always be difficult, so if you want any good luck charms, just say so.
Where is the dead mine owner's tomb?
Right in the Sedlet's graveyard in the underground ossuary. Just look for a freshly bricked hole in the wall. It might be marked with something.
What does the seal look like?
Nothing special. Just a bronze seal on a neck chain.
Good. Now I know everything.
So, break a leg, brother.
Good.
So,
Tell me more about these thieves' charms.
one couldn't get by without them in our profession. You can usually buy them cheap from an executioner or knacker, since they're the only ones who can cut into corpses. Fingers, hair, veins, teeth, and fingernails. They're all good if you want to be lucky and not get caught red-handed.
Do you have one of those thieves' charms for good luck?
Naturally, tried and true. Yours for a few groschen.
Fine. I'll buy it.
By all means. Here it is. May it serve you well.
Would you...
Fresh plaster, cross on the wall. That'll be it. Damn, the seal isn't here. Somebody got here before me. I'll have to go pay a visit to the local gravedigger. Easy, good horse. Go! Whoa!
What are you trying to pull, you scoundrel?
I'm interested in that recent funeral of the rich mine owner, Hanneman Ross.
Yeah. And what's it got to do with me? He's dead. His tomb's in the ossuary.
And you don't know anything about the looting of the tomb?
God, no, nothing. He's dead, buried, and the work is paid for. I don't know anything else.
Fine. We'll let it... I want to ask...
God, again.
Fine.
Take care.
At your service.
Excuse me.
Greetings, sir. What would you like?
I found the seal of the dead mine owner, Rot. Here it is.
Very good, brother. Very good. Did you have any trouble?
Just a minor inconvenience. The grave had already been looted when I got there, so I had no choice but to find and rob the thief. But I'll keep his name to myself. At any rate, the gravedigger now has a good reason to brick up the tomb again.
See how my charm protected you. Things could have also taken a nasty turn.
What will you do with the seal now?
I'll put it to good use, of course, but that's my concern. The guild thanks you. Now that cunt Sigismund and his councillors won't get a single groschen from Rot's will.
I'm glad to hear that.
If you're interested in some more work, or would like to learn something, you know where to find me.
Do you have any more work on the side for me?
Good thing you asked, brother. I've got a hot tip that could be worth your while. But you know how it goes. No job can be taken for certain.
By all means, continue. I'll do it.
There's a German innkeeper by the name of Bakervetz. That cunt backs Sigismund and is thick as thieves with his councillors.
I know him. He has a tavern in the Italian quarter.
Word has it, he didn't come by that tavern in the most honourable of ways. They say he got the coin for it by stealing with a pack of bandits. And not just that, they say the rest of his stolen treasure is hidden in the cellar under the tavern.
Interesting. But a little sketchy.
Sketchy or not, makes no difference. We can't risk Bakervitz cutting a cut of our pie. Get into the cellar and steal everything you can get your hands on. Just to let the innkeeper know, the guild has its fingers everywhere. Go ahead and sell the items, so you get something out of it. This time we don't care about them.
Very well. I'll pay a little visit to Bakervetz.
If you don't know where to dump the stuff, I know a place. Innkeeper Helga in Zurich knows a trafficker. Go and talk to her to make arrangements. The password is Big-Eyed Monkey.
Where is that tavern?
Not the tavern, the cellar beneath it. It's in the Italian quarter by the big church.
What exactly should I search for in that cellar?
I don't know. A hiding place or locked chests? Anything interesting.
Where should I ask about the trafficker?
At my friend Helga's. She runs Zur Eiche Tavern in Old Kutner.
Fine. I'm off.
What's the hold up?
Where are you headed? Come back. We need to talk.
Look what the cat dragged in. Greetings. Oh, Christ. What's your business here? Nothing personal. It's just a new
Halt!
What the fuck happened here?
Well, he had a fall.
A fall? He just fell over all on his own and ended up like this?
On his own, honest to God. Fell over and died right before my eyes.
Oh, Jesus. Tell me everything from the beginning.
Well, Chenyek sent me to go and ask about them symbols. Polite like. Only this bastard started fucking with me.
And what happened next?
He was laughing in my face, giving me all sorts of riddles. So I lost it and gave him a bit of a slap. Only he caught another one from the table on the way down and it ended up like this.
Chenyek had a hunch this might happen. Did you find out anything about the symbols, at least, before this?
When I start seeing red, I don't ask no questions.
Do you remember anything, at least? Anything?
Well, he talked to me in riddles. So I tell him I ain't no little kid, and to talk to me normal like.
And then?
When he saw the smoke coming out of my ears, he said he'd show me some important parchment, but that annoyed me even more. Do I look like a fucking scribe?
Was there something written on it?
Well, how should I know? I gave him a slap, and that was that. Take a look at it yourself. I reckon you got a better head on you. Quick, search him. I can't read. Take a look yourself. Well, can you read it? Well, so?
Yes, but unfortunately for you, it's another riddle.
Della!
Something about a vineyard and running water. I can't make much sense of it.
The bastard! He's fucking with us even from beyond the grave!
Well, it's our only lead to find out anything about the symbols.
Oh, I don't have the noggin for this shit, Henry. Chenyek has the quickest wit of all of us. If you can't crack it, you can ask him. But please, don't tell him nothing about me.
You there, Hulk. Come here.
The city council has decided to help King Sigismund's army
Fountain?
to keep watch. So
Where
we
does the
can
water come from?
sleep peacefully.
Here, in the middle
We
of the
have
city.
therefore decided to collect food supplies from the city to send to our brave defenders.
Easy, good horse.
God bless.
Hinnek gave Hogg a peculiar riddle, and we can't quite figure it out.
Old Greaser was known for those. Tell me then, what did he say?
A vineyard in the town. Strange, but who knows? And yet there it is, quite nearby, by the water that gushes. Now listen and try to keep your eyes open so that you can tell. Shortly after the midday bell, you'll find us where the shadow goes.
Sounds pretty mixed up to me. A vineyard. I only know the one outside of town, but Riddle mentions one inside of it. There must be something similar to a vineyard, and the part with the water might be a well? Or maybe a fountain?
Well, thanks. I'll see what I can do. I talked to Knuckles about...
Let me guess. He wants to use them to get rich.
Well, yes, actually.
That's Knuckles for you. But I think he'll eventually understand it's better to think of the bigger picture than just himself. Nevertheless, until you find something out about the symbols, come and see me directly.
I apologize.
My humble respects.
A fountain? Where does the water come from? Here, in the middle of the city.
Intoxicating. The smell of a...
I tell you, and you dob me in.
Crazy? Why would I dob you in?
Gossiping about it won't do anyone any good.
Burgundy and Tuscany. The best wine comes from Czechoslovakia. Light aroma of exotic...
Das tun, worüber wir gesprochen haben?
Guten Tag, mein Herr. Komm herein. Grüß Gott.
You're not allowed here. That's it. Go now. You don't live here. Aufhören. Can we sort this out on our own? Or do I need to get the bailiff involved?
Easy. Let's talk about this.
You were trying to... The bailiff...
Now hold...
That's... Clear.
Nobody's opened this door in ages. Oof. It's pretty musty in here. This is no regular cellar. This must be it.
Oh, it's late. What do you want from me?
I've deciphered the meaning of the symbols.
Fantastic! How do you manage that?
Well, it was pretty confusing. But in the end, I managed to find the old thieves' hideout.
And what about Hogg?
He killed Hinek. He didn't mean to, but he did.
That moron. Sometimes he snaps, and then people think we're all like that. And that the guild is just a bunch of thugs and ne'er-do-wells.
Thankfully, Hinek had a parchment on him that led me to the symbols.
Let me see. I'll copy them. These will come in handy. Imagine the look on Sigismund's face when his rich friends in the city start running out of silver.
Here they are. I'm glad I could help.
Tunnel markings. Great! And I saw this symbol for riches on the house right next door. You can go and check it out if you want.
Do you have any more work for me?
Not just now, but something's coming. I'll send for you when the time's right.
That's true. But what good if I...
God bless you, sir.
I'll tell you, no fucking good at all.
I found out the meaning of the symbols.
I knew I could trust you. Let's hear it.
Single groschen until I see cut stones.
Here they are.
Scaffolding.
You see these
men
drawings?
working their asses off.
This means there's something valuable. Here's a fence who buys stolen goods. Here, an underground tunnel. And this means they'll let you sleep in the hay.
Thanks, Henry. No more walking around blind. This will make us rich. Well, sir.